All right. Thanks for tuning into the Playbook ATS Podcast on a Friday. I'm your host, Greg DePalma, again, filling in for Mark Lawrence, who will be back in about a month or so. He is working really hard on the Playbook football guide, which will be available in a few months. NFL, college football, everything you want as far as your handicapping needs will be met. And that's why Mark is feverishly working on getting that available to your newsstands as soon as possible. Jim Feist, of course, joining me as always here. Andy Iskoe's got the week off. And Jim, a lot going on. I mean, from NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, to Kentucky Derby last week. You've got the WNBA season kicking off. You also have, of course, baseball, and you have news in the NFL. News in college basketball. It's a very busy time of year, even though it's not football season.
Yeah, people say, "Well, you must be quiet now. There's no NFL." Oh yeah, right. We got about 10 different things we have to work on every day. I mean, you can skip. And there's some people that really do a lot of work on golf and tennis, but which I don't. But well, I'm going to bring it up because I know you never will. The WNBA starts.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
And believe me, they're going to get a lot more TV coverage. The young ladies are getting paid pretty good money. The contract is in place. The schedule's out. I think they play about 40 games, and then they have a tournament. It should be very interesting. It's good basketball. The NBA. We're into the second round, and I'll tell you, I don't know what to say. Some of these games are outrageously, I don't know, what do you just say? Unpredictable. The team that goes out there, one of the best teams. There's 16 teams that get to the playoffs, and they get there and they lose by 40 or they lose by 30. And just unbelievable stuff. These are the best players in the world and they just don't show up.
Yeah, there was, let's see.
My favorite player, James Harden, please retire.
Yeah.
This guy, he's had a hell of a career. No, granted, he's never won a championship at the NBA level, even though he used to be able to score 50 points a game. He is awful, just awful. What a terrible trade the Cleveland Cavaliers made for him.
I don't know why teams keep trading for him.
I don't think they will after what they just have been witnessing.
Zach Harper out of The Athletic. Good news is that James Harden joined Bob Cousy in a playoff stat. The bad news is that Harden tied Cousy with his 20th playoff game of shooting 25% or less with a minimum of 10 shot attempts. Harden went 3 of 13 from the field for 10 points versus the Pistons last night.
Not to mention the turnovers. This man is a turnover machine. It's sad. I feel bad for Cleveland, but they made the choice to get him, and the man's done. He cannot play at this level.
Yeah, let's take a look. So what do you see is going on? Because the Knicks, you did like the Sixers to make it a closer game too, and that's exactly what happened. The Sixers covered, but Knicks still won. They go up 2-0. Now it's in Philly tonight. And Philly is a 1-point favorite against the Knicks. What do you think about that one?
Well, it didn't open up that way. It opened up the Knicks favored, but now the Knicks have a big injury to what's his name? I can't remember his name. They have a big injury, and a lot of people are speculating that Embiid will be back. I don't think he will, but Philadelphia can win without Embiid. They showed that the other night. They should have won that game.
Embiid's out again?
I think he might be. I would say it's 60-40 that he's out.
Wow.
But you never really know with these guys. They're not really transparent with these injuries. I'm going to say he's out, but with or without him, Philadelphia could win this game. Ogunjobi, what's a health? like sometimes I lose these in. The Knicks injury is big. It's a big one. But he won't be playing. And I think Philadelphia wins this game. I mean, they're down 2-0, coming back home. Big money has shifted it from the Knicks 2.5 to Philly 1.5. I think you just follow the money here.
Interesting. Okay. We'll see if they can.
Oganobi. That's it. That's his name.
Oganobi.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. And is this what's up with the Spurs and the Timberwolves?
Well, you know that the Minnesota won the first game. Spurs came back and just absolutely. This is one of the kind of games I was talking about. Trashed them. Spurs trashed them in game 2. And I'm saying to myself, these are supposed to be the best teams in the industry. And what the hell's going on? Well, so it's almost like Minnesota got down a little bit and they said, we have our game. Now we're going back home. Well, I gotta take the Timberwolves here. I think they're a good team, solid team. Now, I'm not going to say anything negative about Wemby because when he's on his game and he's in there, he is devastating, and you can't get a shot up inside 10 feet. I mean, this guy's devastating on block shots and influencing and intimidating people driving to the hoop. Great player. I'm taking the dog there. So I got two home teams so far.
Okay. And what about tomorrow with that Pistons Cavs series with the Pistons getting almost 5?
I cannot. Unless they decide to bench Harden and send him to the junior league or senior league. I cannot in any way, shape, or form bet the Cavaliers with that man on the floor. He is absolutely horrendous. He can't shoot. He can't play defense. He can't play offense. And he can't dribble the ball because they can steal the ball from him. He has a style of dribbling the ball very low. And these young kids for Detroit, they figured out how to steal it from him. Toronto did the same damn thing. He's done. He is done. Anybody that wants him on their team is out of their mind.
But he still has his beard, though.
What?
He still has his beard, doesn't he? His beard? Yeah.
Probably among other alcoholic beverages, yes.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what's been in that beard over the last 20 years. Okay, OKC, they've got a 2-0 lead over the Lakers. Is this series done? What do you think about this game?
Unless Luka comes back, and I haven't heard anything positive about that. Unless he comes back, this is a 4-game series. I don't see how the OKC is just so damn good, and the Lakers just a shorthanded. And you know, you got the leader of the team is a 42-year-old guy by the name of LeBron James, who's fantastic, and it's amazing what he does at his age and the condition he's in. I give all the credit in the world to him, but you can't beat a team like this.
What about the spread? Game 3 spread?
Unless I think there's a chance for the Lakers to really upset them, I don't feel anything under 10. I'm not going to lay it, but
okay.
It's not enough. If you made it 10.5, I would probably take the dog, just stay inside the number, but not now.
Is there anything at all that you're ready to wager on as far as the WNBA is concerned?
Yes.
What is that? Is that today, tomorrow?
I think the Liberty looked to me like the best team next to the Aces.
So even though you haven't seen a game yet, you're ready to go ahead and dive in on a big spread? Do you think the Liberty are that good?
Well, you know, they've had a preseason, they've played games, and there's a lot of reports on the rosters and how they're looking and the chemistry, and you know, it's a little bit of a crapshoot. It's like in the football season when it opens up. You know, if you're a $5,000 better, you're betting 500. So I'm taking the Liberty. I laid the 9.5, and I'm also taking Seattle at home getting points against Golden State.
All right, Seattle plus 5.5. Okay, let's turn our attention to baseball. What do you like as far as, are there any good series this weekend? What do we got here? Anything that sticks out? Any good series?
I mean, if you go to the interleague stuff, and we got the Yankees at Milwaukee, and that looks like a pretty good series.
Okay.
That's interesting. That game opened up at 160 minus 163 Yankees, and it's down to minus 124, 120. Giving Milwaukee a pretty good chance to win this. But Freed's pitched well. I'm not involved in the game.
Okay.
The Chicago Cubs are on a hot streak, but those games have been all at home. Now they're on the road at Texas. I still give the Cubs the edge, but I'm not going to get crazy about it. Open 152, it's down to 133, 135.
Okay.
And then you got the same kind of situation with Tampa Bay at Boston. We don't know much about either pitcher. I mean, they don't have enough depth to know about them. But Boston opened 142 down to 133, 138, 128. But Tampa has been red hot as well. So the two hottest teams have been the Cubs and the Tampa Bay Rays. So you got two real streaking teams there. Nobody ever likes to bet against the Dodgers because the Dodgers are so damn deep and good and everything.
But they're a dog as far as they're a dog on the run line.
They were a dog. They're not anymore.
No.
The game opened Sale minus 141, but now it's Sheehan minus 120, 170.
Wow, that's a change.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I'd take Sale there. I'd give them a chance to pull an upset. The Dodgers haven't been playing all that great. You know, you can pick up a little extra money there with the dog. You might look for let's see. I like Washington, but I don't know anything about this pitcher for Miami. Snelling. Robbie Snelling. I don't know anything about him. And
Foster Griffin's pitching really good.
Yep. I would now. Here's a game. I think that changed. There's a game that Miami opened 110, and then went. Then one place
143,
148, 38, 35. So Miami's favored now with this young man. I don't know who he is or what he's got. I really don't know if they're going to just use him as an opener. But Griffin's playing well enough, I think, where you should take the dog. You got some extra juice on your side. But this is not a card where I have a lot of real solid plays.
Here we go. Miami's number 2 prospect is the 5th Marlins player to debut this week. The Marlins acquired, they're talking about Snelling, of course. Let's see, the Marlins, where is this? Bottom line is this is one of their top prospects who's going to make his major league debut tonight for the Marlins.
What has he been doing?
Pitching in the minors.
But how has he been doing?
Well, let's see. I guess he's been doing real well. Well, let's see. 22-year-old Snelling, whose turn in the AAA Jacksonville rotation was this Friday, forced the organization's hand by posting a 1.86 ERA, second lowest in the International League, 0.90 WHIP, third lowest, and 44 strikeouts, tied for the second most in 6 starts this season. He recently earned International League Pitcher of the Week honors for tossing 5 no-hit frames his last time out. So he can't be pitching any better than that.
No, it's a jump in level, of course. You're going to the majors. But
the Nats have definitely showed that they can hit, but it's who knows? Maybe this is a tough one because of the fact that the Nats are usually an over team, but you've got Foster Griffin pitching his best baseball of the season. And then you got a hot young prospect that you just don't know how he's going to take to it.
Well, I certainly wouldn't lay any number with them.
Yeah, that's a big number for a debut.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then, of course, they're not going to let him go long. So you're going to, so
5 innings. That's it. Probably.
I still think Washington is the right side because of the number. It's a number play. You're getting extra money. You got the dog money, dog juice there. I favor that side, but I'm certainly not going to get. I mean, you could put pizza money on it,
Sure. So in general, though, even though there are some good baseball matchups, nothing that strikes your fancy for today's games.
this is one of those days where since there's nothing really outstanding,
okay,
you probably just want to bet all the dogs.
Okay.
I
That's
mean,
an interesting
really,
strategy.
in reality, because if there's nothing outstanding enough to say, hey, there are some favorites that are just too high that you wouldn't want to, you don't want to lay them, but Philadelphia, yeah, you'd 219, 220. I'm not going to lay that, but I would probably lean to all the dogs except for I might just stay with the streaks with Chicago Cubs and the Tampa Bay Rays and see if they can keep it going. And
Okay.
I'd probably take, this is a dog, I'd take Sale over Sheehan to try to have Atlanta beat the Dodgers. I mean, they're two pretty good clubs. They're playing well. And of course, we all know what everybody expects of the Dodgers. Nobody expects the Dodgers to ever lose a game, which they do lose occasionally. Matter of fact, recently they lost several in a row. So that would be my look at the baseball card for today. Every day it's different, though.
Okay, so there's also it's interesting. I was looking over another article regarding the NBA draft, and there's another. This guy from The Athletic has his top prospects for the draft, and his seventh top prospect is Darius Acuff. I just don't understand. I just don't understand what it is that these experts, these scouts are seeing in Acuff in a negative way. Because I look at it as a negative thing. When a kid that was the most dominant player, as far as one player, if you needed him to rise your team to the occasion and take over a game, nobody was like Darius Acuff in college basketball this year. And he proved it even in a little bit in the tournament. And yet he might not even get drafted in the top 5, according to what we've been reading.
Well, who are the players that they say are going to be picked ahead of him?
Well, you've got, let's go over them. You have Cameron Boozer, which makes sense. AJ DeBansta, the big guy from BYU, but he's only a freshman. But he's also a big guy. You also have Caleb Wilson. This is the one that really shocks me. But again, he's a big guy. It's Caleb Wilson. He was having a nice season for Carolina, but then he gets hurt. I don't know why Caleb Wilson would go over Acuff. And then Darren Peterson. This guy also has Darren Peterson over Acuff. The kid who didn't want to play.
He started his resting in college.
So he got a early jump start. So they won't have to explain to him how it's done in the NBA. Maybe that's why.
That's right. Well, he's right tuned into that.
Yeah. Easy transition.
Load management. He's already tuned in.
Yes.
So Acuff, how big is Acuff?
6'2". It's
maybe
not that big.
Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, but again, you know what's going to happen. He's going to go to the NBA and he's going to be a monster. He's just going to score. He's going to be a monster. I don't get it.
I personally, how big is Cade Cunningham for Detroit?
Oh, let's see.
He's in the pros, the NBA.
Cade Cunningham. Okay, he is. Where's his height? 6'6".
Okay, that's a big difference. 6'2" to 6'6". I mean, they both play the same position.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, like, look at some of the great players that played in the NBA during the toughest time to play in the NBA. And some of those guys weren't all that big. You know, some of the little guys. There were a lot of guys that were really good.
How about Magic Johnson, the guard at 6'9"?
Yeah, that's Mr. Freakazoid. That's like one of the greatest players ever.
He was, absolutely. I think maybe the size might be the issue. But
yeah, well, we're gonna document it, and
let's say if you were gonna make a trade, how many Acuffs would you want to trade for Harden?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's so stupid they're not even. I know that one's 33 years old and the one is like 20, but the talent difference. Get your head out of their butts, guys. This kid's got a big future, and the other guy should be shipped out the door.
Stephon Marbury, he was 6'2".
Yeah, I mean, there's the potential. If you're what's the kid? There's the kid for came out of Illinois, plays for the Wolves. His last name, Shannon. What's his name? What's his size?
Let's see. Right now he's playing for the Timberwolves.
Yes.
All right. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I remember him in college. Let's see. Timberwolves. That's Terrence Shannon Jr.
Yes.
He is 6'6".
Okay, he's bigger. This kid is lightning. He has such speed. He reminds me a lot of Westbrook, except that he can shoot. He is unbelievably fast. You give him an inch, he just blows right by you. He's incredibly impressive. Very, very, very tough guy to guard.
Okay, so a couple other things I noticed this week. What do you think about? And I'm going to let's see. Well, let me get my schedule. Let's see. I'm going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns on the 20th. And Fred Greetham does a great job with the OBR.com. And one of the first things, of course, I'm going to talk to him about is how serious are the stories coming out of Cleveland that Deshaun Watson right now looks like the likely starter week 1.
Well, I'm only going to guess. I mean, Deshaun Watson, when he was really good, he was really good. And if he's got his head in the game, if he obviously still wants to play because
he's got a great opportunity.
He doesn't have to play.
No,
you're getting paid anyway. But he's definitely more talented than anybody else they have at that position, for sure.
No question.
So I'd say it's very serious. And I want to know, why is there a person standing behind you with a lot of money? Who is that? And what is he asking you? What is he doing giving you all that money?
That's actually a way for us on the show to convey to our viewers that this is what we're giving them as far as our yes. Your picks will give them that green stuff.
I totally agree. But
even though they won't probably see it because it'll be electronic.
But the other thing is, I never wear a suit.
Oh, well, that's true too.
You can't put a suit on me. I don't wear one.
Yeah, that's good. Sort of like Justin Timberlake, right?
Unfortunately, in my younger life, I had to wear one every day in different things that I had to do, and I refuse to put a suit on right now.
In Las Vegas, I understand.
It's 100 degrees here today.
It's crazy.
I'm roasting.
Also, the college basketball, this was not a big surprise, but they decided to, starting this year, 76 teams are now going to be in the tournament. And
can I ask why?
There was some, as they were talking about it, it's interesting to hear some of the coaches respond to it. I'm going to get you a quote from Houston's coach said something really kind of funny about it, but kind of tells you where their point of view is regarding why they think this is a good thing. Because the polls say the fans don't like it, like by a lot. And so, of course, this has got to be about money in some way, shape, or form. I can't get the right quote, but the bottom line was Sampson basically was saying that the reason why he thinks it's a good thing is because it will help it'll give like coaches an opportunity to hang on to their jobs, because if they get a tournament invite, it won't be so easy for them to get fired.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was basically the statement.
Well, my answer is it's bad because all you're doing is adding extra teams that have absolutely no chance to win.
Yeah. And you know, and the thing is most fans, when you talk about this, we want, okay, you're going to get more teams. Does that mean that you're going to invite more mid-majors? And you know the answer to that question will be no. You know, out of these, 12 additional teams, probably 10 of them will be more Power 4 teams. You'd be lucky to get like another, I don't know, Indiana State. Something like that to get, and that's who we would want to see invited, because they would have much better much better schedule. I mean, much better records. But they're gonna and that means Auburn would have made the tournament last year. One game over 500, they would have made it.
Trackers, tacklers. Excuse me. He's a consistent viewer of the show. I did not even like when they went from 64 to 68 teams. Nobody counts these games in their brackets anyway. And I agree with that. You got the portal and you got the nil. All the players, the good players, are moving up into the bigger schools that can pay them. So it's pretty impossible for these little schools. They don't have the depth of talent, even if they do have some talent. They don't have the depth. They can't go through a tournament and hold up against the bigger guys that have the better talent. And so basically you're adding teams that have absolutely no chance to win. So
well, there is some good news possible regarding what I've been hearing about, about what could happen to, with all this money going on, is that if there's so much money that's going towards the top players, that they feel that what could happen is freshmen especially are going to be left behind because you haven't proven yourself yet. Now, when I'm talking about the top freshmen, of course, talking about your average good freshman player is not going to get a lot of money on a Power 4 team, and he's not going to play a lot. So therefore, he's going to accept money on a mid-major. That'll be available to offer that money and starting playing time. Now, that means that the mid-major, if that happens, will get better young players, but how long will they have them for? A year, until, look how good he played for us this year, and now the Power 4 team is going to go ahead and steal him from you next year. But I mean, I guess we'll find out if that happens. That's the only possible thing that could happen, I guess, from what I'm hearing.
Well, Greg, is there any talk about changing the rules and making this a little bit more?
Yeah, they're trying. But see, what they're afraid of is, and again, I think might have been Kelvin Sampson said it too. Somebody said it, that they're afraid. They're admitted it. They're afraid of the court system. They're afraid that it only takes one player to say, you blocked me from this. I couldn't do what I wanted. And if that happens, then they're going to lose all control over more of this stuff. So they're trying to appease these players as best as they can so they won't go to court and put them in that situation. Now, I don't understand. Now, I don't know if this is, I guess I'd have to find out. And I have never even asked whether or not are these liberal judges? Are these conservative judges? Why are you afraid? Why is it all the time that you go in front of a judge that they're always going to go against you? I don't understand. So I don't know. I don't understand why judges just automatically feel that, oh yeah, based on antitrust, we can't block this. And 99% judges out there are going to side with the player. I don't understand why that's the case. I just don't. But apparently that's the way it is. So,
oh boy.
But they're trying. They are trying. Trump came up with that thing with the college. He had that group of top college minds get together and try to put together, whatever you call it. When a president has a new rule on something, I forget what the term is. Anyway,
executive thing,
right? Executive order.
Yeah.
And now that doesn't mean that that'll work. It's an executive order. This is what we're trying to accomplish. And it's just a matter of whether or not these people were going to be able to work together in college and get this stuff fixed.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. And then lastly, Netflix has been awarded the week 1 rights to the NFL season with Australia's Rams 49ers game. So that'll kick off the season on Netflix. So I guess if you don't have Netflix, you're shit out of luck.
Well, a lot of people probably get it just for that one game.
Probably.
And I assume that's a Thursday game?
I don't know, because it might be a Wednesday. I don't know, because that's what I'm hearing, since that's the first. That's like the first game, but that doesn't mean like Seattle is still supposed to wind up with like the so-called first game. So it might be a Wednesday. And then the Thursday game will still be Seattle at home, against whoever. It might be against Arizona, since the Rams are playing the Niners in Australia.
Are you one of the people that feels that, I'll just say an off the wall NFL question, Kyler Murray going from Arizona to Minnesota, and do you feel like he's going to have a big leap in performance, positive performance over what he's been able to do in Arizona? And if so, why?
If he stays healthy, yes. And that's because of Kevin O'Connell. You're talking about one of the best quarterback coaches out there that knows how to set things up for his quarterback. And the thing is going to be, though, like, I'm not sure. See, we have to find the one thing I don't like about Kevin O'Connell is that, and I think he's a little overrated in this respect, is that the whole JJ McCarthy thing. I did another interview with Adam Patrick, who covers the Vikings, and I found out a lot more about it. And the fact is that if you look at it, you have to wonder whether or not O'Connell wanted to draft McCarthy. Keeping in mind, they fired the general manager. They fired him late last season, and he obviously is the one making the pick. Even though you're supposed to have synergy with your head coach, okay, it's a quarterback. Do you want him? You would think that O'Connell wanted him. But the reason I'm saying this is because J.J. McCarthy is a certain type of quarterback. He came from Michigan, where they were basically like like J.J. McCarthy. In order for him to succeed in the NFL, he needs to be run by like a Clint Kubiak offense, sort of like what you saw with Sam Darnold in Seattle last year. Lots of play action, 50% running. That's J.J. McCarthy's strengths. That's what he did at Michigan. But O'Connell didn't do that. O'Connell's like, this is how I run my offense. I don't care about running the football. Therefore, play action doesn't matter. I want to get the ball down the field, and that's not JJ McCarthy's game. So that's why you had to question that. So when I think about Murray, I'm thinking, okay, I can't imagine he signed him without believing that Murray can be a big upgrade with what he wants to do. That McCarthy, who I still believe at this point is going to get traded, because I can't imagine he's going to work out with O'Connell. So I would say, yeah, I think that's going to work out as long as Murray's healthy, because you have to look at the coaching upgrade over what Arizona had the last few years. And it's like night and day, and the talent on offense is going to be better with Justin Jefferson and Addison. So yeah, I think he'll, and he's still in the prime of his career. He's not an old guy. So
the question is if he wants to play or not, and if he wants to put in the work and to learn the playbook.
That's true.
Work to stay in shape. I mean, it's been a question around him since the beginning.
Yep.
If your coach is not going to use the running game, and this is my opinion, to a high level, not develop his offensive line, not use the running game to take pressure off the quarterback, I think he's heading for a long, frustrating career. I think it's very obvious that the offensive line and the running back, not only for running, but actually for blocking and giving the quarterback some more options other than the play action pass is the way to go. And that's the way football has always been. And you get this garbage every once in a while comes along and say, oh, the running back, you don't even need him. You don't need to pay him. But it's garbage. Yeah. That's garbage.
Isn't it funny how that was around for about 3 years and it quickly went away?
It's the same thing with analytics. Analytics are great only when you have enough of a sample size. Now, you're not going to get enough of a sample size, in my opinion, in a sport that is less than 20 games. And half of them are on the road and half of them are at home. So that's a different set of circumstances altogether. And some of them are played in good weather. Some of them are played in bad weather. Some of them are inside. Some of them are outside. You're not going to be, and then every year, the rosters all change dramatically. You're not going to get solid analytical information with that. Just think about it. You're playing 8 games at home, 9 games at home. You're playing 9 on the road. You can't get solid numbers off of something that short. Now, you can do it in the NBA because they're playing 40 and 40, and the home games and road games are always different. But the problem with the NBA is they don't play. They take too much time off and they coast through the season. Where that's one of the reasons I like the WNBA, even though they only play half the number of games, they always play. So you are getting at least 20 games home and 20 games on the road. You're seeing a bigger sample size. So I'm not good at trying to find numbers for analytics on short sample sizes. I like larger sample sizes. And getting a long story short, the running game, the offensive line, football is football. It's the way the game is always played, and it will always be played at the highest level when you have a solid offensive line, a solid running game, and a very efficient quarterback. That's how the game is played, and look at who won the Super Bowl, and look at how they got there. And I mean, even the team that lost, how were they developed? It's people. These people come along and they try to make changes based on very short samples.
Well, I think the best thing for analytics in football that really only make the most sense are things of the nature which they use a lot. And that's why we've seen this, I don't think it's changing anytime soon, is do we go for it on 4th down in a certain situation? Do we, that sort of deal? Because now it's gone, I think, absolutely nuts. Because even this past year, how many times have we now see coaches going for it like at their own 30? If it's like 4th and a half a yard or something, and they think, okay, well, I just get a quarterback sneak, I'll be okay. I mean, that never happened. If you were 4th and a minuscule inch and you were inside your own 40-yard line, you never went for it. And now you're seeing it happen a lot more because the analytics say that's what you should do. So that sort of stuff for going for it on 4th down, or maybe even when to go for field goals or stuff like that, maybe there's some sense to that. But again, even though that's the case, you still have to, just like you said, though, Jim, you have to look at it in certain situations. You can't look at it as a Bible and I'm going to follow it 100% of the time, because you don't know who the personnel is.
What Denver did in the playoffs when they were playing, I'm going to try to remember. The Patriots. And they didn't kick the field goal when they had a terrible quarterback. That was horrendous.
Terrible.
That was absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
Next to when the coach Staley was with San Diego.
Oh, he was Mr. Analytics. Yes.
Horrible. That was a horrible decision. And probably cost them getting to the Super Bowl, even though they didn't have a healthy quarterback. It was just a terrible, terrible, inexcusable decision. And, I don't know. I don't know where their heads are. They're football people trying to change to being mathematicians and analytics. These are football people. They know how to play football, and that's why they're in these coaching positions. It's crazy.
Well, that's why I'm not really sure about Kevin O'Connell, his offense long term, because he doesn't run the ball enough. Now, I'm not saying he neglects it altogether. It's just that average wise, he doesn't run it enough. And then now he waited until the 6th round to draft his running back, like his next young running back, considering Aaron Jones has already showed a little bit wear and tear as he's getting a little bit older. You know, he's missing a handful of games every year. Jordan Mason is no prize as a backup. He's basically just a guy that, okay, if you need me to start a couple of games, I can. So that shows you right there how little he cares about having a really good running back, that he's going back with Aaron Jones, and he waited until this. Now, look, I like Claiborne. I think this kid in this running back room could actually end up being a really good player. He's an explosive kid. He's a little small, though, which is why he's into the 6th round, so he's not going to be like a workhorse. But that's just proof right there. Now, the offensive line is going to be better, and it needs to be healthier. They have Christian Darrisaw, who was out all last year, is their best lineman. So they did a good job by drafting a kid in the 3rd round, and they also signed another tackle in free agency. So now they've got 2 offensive tackles from the draft and free agency as backup plans in case we have injuries there again. And then even inside, they made a couple of moves here. They drafted this kid in the 7th round. Not a big deal there. But, again, it's about staying healthy. And as long as Minnesota can have a healthy offensive line, Kyler Murray should be able to have a productive season, putting up some big numbers. But then the question becomes, is he a championship winning quarterback? And we're going to find out what kind of player he is in big games because he just hasn't played in enough of them.
Well, we went from Darnold with the Jets, who couldn't play and he was seeing ghosts, to Darnold winning the Super Bowl. So Kyler, I've never seen the work ethic from him, but maybe he didn't like where he was. I don't know. But I do know this. He's a small guy, doesn't want to get hit. Now, if you're a small guy, doesn't want to get hit, you need a good offensive line and a good running back situation. So otherwise, you're going to have to be moving around and taking some hits yourself. He doesn't like to get hit. So if you look at that whole mix, you need a running back and you need a running game and you need to play action.
You would think so.
Yeah, I think so.
And I know that's definitely the case for JJ. There's no way JJ is going to last with Kevin O'Connell's system and succeed. I mean, I give him credit for winning those games at the end of the year and at least saving some face, but it's not going to work with Kevin O'Connell. I actually think he might even get traded in the next couple of months before the season begins. Maybe the Vikings are waiting for the right situation to trade him. Wait for some team that's got Super Bowl aspirations or, big playoff aspirations, and something happens to their quarterback and they don't have a really good young quarterback to turn to. So
I don't know.
All right. Anyway,
I don't know how good JJ is anyway in any spot. He has to prove a lot of things because he didn't look good. But that's for another show, and we'll get into it more later on.
Yep, the schedule is coming out, and hopefully it'll be out next week. We keep hearing that was supposed to be the timeline a week from today, actually, or a week from yesterday, something like that. But I haven't heard anything yet as far as a definitive day when the schedule is coming out. But when it does, we'll definitely be zeroing in our attention to the win totals and maybe even some more futures talk in the NFL. So it's not just going to be all basketball and baseball. So we'll be here to talk more football, especially when the new schedule comes out. So, Jim, appreciate your time as always.
Great show. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll see you again on Tuesday at 1:00 for the Jim Feist handicapping show. And I will see everybody here tomorrow for more NASCAR coverage after qualifying at Watkins Glen, as long as they have qualifying, because it's supposed to potentially rain in New York. So we'll see. But I'll be on the air either way tomorrow, late in the afternoon, early evening, right here on Proline TV. And then again, we'll see Jim on Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in. And